No, 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 Beverly, that's the past. The past stays outside that door.
Look, you've
No more
always...
excuses. I don't want to hear it. The past has no significance to us anymore. It is the present. We are in the present, and that is all that counts now. I'm sorry. That was unfair. This has nothing to do with you.
Is there something that you'd like to talk about? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be presumptuous. Forgive me.
No. But I'm very, very touched and very, very impressed. Do you realize what you just did? You instinctively reached out to help. You found something deep inside of you that said that you were strong enough to help. A month ago, that would have been impossible.
Well, it felt good.
And it should.
Dr. Vazan, why don't you tell me why you're so upset?
Well, Beverly, actually, it has to do with money, or rather, the lack of it. I'm right in the middle of some important research for Domi, and I'm out of funds.
Well, I talked to her not but an hour ago. She said she'd be here. She had to turn some paper in. It was late. One of her professors or something.
We don't have an awful lot of time here, you know.
Well, why don't we just start without her?
No, I want to talk to the two of you about this relationship you had. I don't want to do it separately.
Harold, Miss Brubaker's here.
Ah.
Sorry I'm late. Got the paper in, though.
Your coffee and Danish will be here in just a minute, okay?
I didn't ask for any of that.
Who said it was for you?
I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast.
Oh.
Well, it looks like I might be ordering lunch from here as well. Something new has come up, guys. Looks like we might be in a lot of trouble.
Rubber band's what I needed last week.
Here, it was behind the microwave. You're welcome.
Thank you. Of course, if you hadn't moved it, we wouldn't have had this problem.
Well, if you hadn't have put it where Scott could reach it, it wouldn't have been necessary to move it. Here, let me do it for you.
No. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you like me to run an ad for a housekeeper?
No.
Sorry, that wasn't very fair.
Yeah, well, none of this has been very fair.
Well, we both know what has to happen before we can get things straightened out.
You're so sure you're right.
Yes?
Ben, I have told you. I am sorry if I've done something that you feel is wrong.
And that's the end of it.
I'm trying.
Goodbye.
Mental depression organically based. How?
Enzymes, conjugated proteins acting on the synapses of the brain, a chemical imbalance. That's what my research will prove.
And nobody's explored this.
Explored, yes, but I've immersed myself in it. I've successfully demonstrated that we can change our chemical makeup. And I'm not talking about doing this through diet or drugs or anything external. I'm talking about doing it through positive energy.
It's fascinating.
Beverly, it's exactly what you and I have talked about before. It's about withdrawing deeper and deeper into yourself until you're so incredibly aware of everything around you and within you that thinking about changing something can actually bring about that change. And I'm not talking about putting any qualifications whatsoever on what can be changed.
Dr. Fazan, I admire you. I admire your intellect, your courage, your foresight. You've done so much to help me. Now you need help, and, well, I can't help you.
Did I say that I needed help?
Well, you said that your research stopped because you ran out of money. Now, I'd like to make a contribution, but I'm afraid at this time that would just be impossible.
Oh?
You see, my ex-husband, Ted, has started to take an interest in my finances. And these sessions, for example, he's very unhappy at the amount.
You mean he knows that you're involved in Domi?
No, but he knows that the money's going somewhere, and he doesn't like it. So you see, a contribution now would be impossible.
Beverly, a contribution is not the question. I cannot believe that you're still being so incredibly manipulated.
Well, I choose to think that it is concern on Ted's part.
Of course you do, because that gets you off the hook. The money he gives you is alimony, is that correct?
Yes.
Alimony that came from a divorce settlement, a divorce that you neither wanted nor asked for, a divorce that was the result of his affair with a younger woman.
Look, Dr. Fazan, please. I don't want to keep talking about
Beverly, that money is rightfully yours. It's a guilt offering. You have every right to it. He has no right to monitor it.
But look, I'm just trying to keep things friendly between us.
You are trying to live in a fantasy world. Those of us in Domi do not allow other people to tell us what to do. We are not influenced by externals. We are in control, not someone else.
Sorry to disrupt the positive energy flow, but this session is over. Vanessa, you and I have some things to discuss.
Get out. Whatever it is, it can wait until later.
It can't, and I won't.
So, Courtney wants you to be her witness.
Yes, as her best friend, I'm supposed to testify as to how miserable she was. Interesting development, huh?
Suspicious is more like it. I don't trust Myers. You think somehow he's found out about you?
No way.
You don't know him like I do.
No, that's impossible, Mr. Webster.
Why?
Well, because Courtney and I are good friends. And I'm sure that I would have noticed a change in her attitude towards me if this was some kind of trap.
Maybe Courtney doesn't know. Maybe Myers is using her to set us up.
And if he is,
Well, then we gotta block him somehow. Yeah, Tina, you'll have to go to Courtney and tell her about your affair with Vaughn.
no.
It's the only way.
But wait a minute, that's the whole point of this tactic, is to throw Courtney off guard. Create an uncertainty so that she'll drop the suit. If you do that, you've blown the whole thing.
Tactic? Now, look, I want to ask the two of you a question. I want a straight answer. Now, is this relationship between you two fictional?
No, of course it isn't.
We're not lying, Mr. Webster.
It doesn't look that way from here.
Look, I'm sorry. It was a poor choice of words.
You make that poor choice again on the witness stand, and Myers will rip into you like a hungry bear. And you won't have to wait till you get down off the witness stand to find out about the judge's decision either.
Look, I'm sorry. I'll be more careful.
I'm not looking for caution. Now, let's just set aside testifying for Courtney for a second. I want to find out about this so-called relationship between you two. Here, grab a seat. Now, when I say I want facts, I want facts. Now, where and when did you two first meet?
It was at a keg party at Psi Epsilon.
Was that a fraternity party?
I went looking for Courtney.
Yeah, she wasn't there. I gave Vaughn a few hints as to where he could find her.
Exactly when did this happen?
The first weekend in December.
Yeah. It was a Friday night. I just got in from Chicago. I went directly from the airport to the college campus.
Was this the first time that you two...
No, that didn't happen until the next week.
We ran into each other at the huddle.
Looking for Courtney again?
No, I'd just come from seeing her, and it was a rather disastrous meeting. Tina approached me and reminded me that we'd met somewhere before. Well, frankly, after what just happened with Courtney, it was a refreshing experience. And one thing led to another.
And I invited him up to my dorm room. That was the first time. The second time was the following night.
Yeah, I had yet another argument with Courtney, and I went looking for Tina. The next time we met was the last time, and that was the following weekend.
Only I was the pursuer this time. I knew Vaughn had just gotten back into town. I knew that he was staying at the King's Arms. I also knew that he'd had another fight with Courtney.
In other words, you used your friendship with Courtney to maneuver yourself into bed with her fiancé.
Yes.
Not very flattering, Tina.
No, wasn't. I felt guilty about it. That's why that was the last time.
We both felt guilty about it.
How about Vaughn's abilities?
My experience with Vaughn wasn't what Courtney's was. We're telling you the truth, Mr. Webster. Vaughn was only impotent with her.
I refuse to deal with you under these circumstances.
Do you think I could make one phone call and do you a great deal of harm?
Conceding is sometimes like feeding a hungry crocodile. You do so in the hopes that the animal will choke on what you give it, and thus leave you alone. Such is the case here. Beverly, I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. You can either wait outside, or my secretary will reschedule a later appointment, whichever is more convenient for you.
I'll reschedule.
All right. Until later, then.
Yes.
How dare you?
Save the fireworks. They're no match for mine.
That was probably one of my most important patients.
That's too bad. I want to know what you think you were doing last night.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Ben Martin.
Ben Martin. A lovely man. He could teach you some manners.
He could get you sent to prison.
As usual, your allegations are not based on reality.
You made the man an accomplice in Mrs. Gilbert's so-called suicide, and now you're flirting with him. If somebody should start asking even marginal questions,
Which is impossible.
your friendliness with him is going to look very suspicious. Vanessa, by being seen with him, you are putting two and two together for anybody who might be poking around.
I'm in control. This should come as no surprise to you. I haven't kept my interest in Ben Martin a secret. What will happen is inevitable.
What will happen? What are you talking about?
Never mind.
This is crazy. What is wrong with you? Do you have a death wish?
No, but I am losing my patience. Leave it alone, Brian.
You see Ben as some kind of a challenge, don't you? Some kind of a test, and it's somehow all tied in with Domi.
You know, there are times when you're remarkably perceptive.
There was a time when you approached Domi with tongue firmly planted in cheek. Now you seem to be taking it seriously. It's a joke, Vanessa. An elaborate, expensive, practical joke, and it's dangerous. I'm not laughing anymore. You have no right to drag the rest of us down with you.
I have a letter here from Mary Ann.
Did she lose our address
Hey,
again?
we're lucky she remembers my address.
Yeah, but she really didn't. I mean, not the zip code.
It's typical. Well, mission accomplished.
Hey, no, wait. Why don't you stay? I haven't seen you in so long, and I've got some coffee brewing and some sweet rolls left over from breakfast.
They wouldn't happen to be homemade, would they?
They would.
Your mother's recipe? The kind that Peter used to bring to work all the time?
The Davidson's Morning Delights?
Oh, cancel all my calls. I've gone to heaven.
All right, good.
Where are they?
They're in the kitchen, just right back there.
Great. You just read the letter. I'll go get them.
Okay, great. Hey, would you get me some coffee black?
Sure.
Okay, no sweet roll for me. You know, I probably haven't heard from Mary Ann in a good month.
The last time I talked to her was at Christmas. That's the way I like it.
Oh, come on, Gil, you can't fool me. You two are the best brother-sister act I know.
Well, living a couple of 100 miles away has its advantage.
Oh, no, she and Warren didn't work out.
That's no surprise. Oh, these look good. They are good.
Oh, no, I feel terrible, though, because she really had hopes for this relationship.
Now, she's got to stop thinking that every guy that says hello is going to be her husband.
I didn't know that your father was in the hospital, Gil. What? Here, let me help you here.
Yeah. He was just in overnight. He's out now.
Oh, good. So it was his high blood pressure, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's under control now with medication.
Oh, good.
And he and Mary Ann are going to use that as an excuse to take the rest of the summer off.
Yeah, she says they've taken a house in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Oh, Gil, I would love to do that. Oh, I think it's a great idea.
So do I. My dad deserves it.
Yeah.
You know, I was really upset when Mary Ann called and told me that he had just collapsed. I thought I'd lost him. I actually started crying. And if you tell anybody, I'll deny every word of it.
You are such a tough guy, Gil.
It's me.
Oh, dear.
What?
Oh, she's invited us down to visit.
Is that a problem?
Well, I'd really love to go.
Why don't you run that by me one more time?
Yeah. No, all I'm saying is I just feel like Ben just wouldn't really be up for it right now.
Oh.
You know, I really miss Mary Ann a lot. I miss having someone real close, you know, to talk to. But maybe she'll come in the fall and visit Kingsley, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
So, how do my sweet rolls compare to Mum's?
Oh, I'm not going to fall into that trap.
Coward.
Absolutely. Look, Lori, I know that Mary Ann would be delighted to see you, as much as you need to, well, you would like to see her, too. Do you think that you and Ben are liberal enough to consider separate vacations?
That's all Courtney said to you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this whole testimony bit was just something that she just came up with on her own while we were just talking.
Well, if you're right and Myers doesn't know, then going to Courtney is just going to give him more time to investigate and prepare a better defense.
Exactly.
Not that we're worried that an investigation might turn up something that could prove we're lying.
We're not worried, Mr. Webster.
You think you can come up with some reason not to testify for Courtney?
Sure.
Well, do it. Let me know what it is first. Paul and I realize what you're trying to do here. You're still hoping that Courtney will drop that suit. Well, that's not an unreasonable hope up to a point. But I think we're well past that point now. And you better resign yourself to the fact that we are going to have a dirty, messy battle.
And in the future, when you pick up the telephone to make another one of your little threats, I will ask to speak to the authorities when you're finished.
Please, leave Ben alone. He doesn't deserve any of this.
Any of what?
Vanessa,
Ben Martin is responsible for his own choices. He's not a victim of anything. I don't believe in victims.
that's the defense mechanism of a guilty conscience.
Brian, darling, this sentimental concern of yours over Ben is very touching, but it's absolutely unbelievable. If you cared as much about him as you're pretending to, why did you lead him by the hand to the Bedford Institute?
I didn't lead him anywhere. It was his own
Choice. Exactly. There are no victims. And let me give you fair warning. If watching your friend make uncomfortable decisions is painful for you, I suggest that you avoid his company for the next few weeks.
Why?
Because when he convinces his lovely little wife to take separate vacations, he just might make some other choices that will make you even more uncomfortable.
I don't know, Tina. I think it's just all falling apart. My lawyer doesn't believe me. And he shouldn't. And here you are in the middle of an awkward situation, and it's my fault. Courtney. Courtney hates me now more than ever. And why shouldn't she? The way that story must just make her feel so inadequate.
Vaughn, things will settle down. You've just got to give it a couple of days.
Yeah, but this thing was designed to bring us back together again. It was supposed to have been simple. It's been anything but.
Listen to me now. Now listen to me. You are fighting a battle here. You can't expect to strike a blow and not have them strike back. It's in their retaliation that you prove yourself. Now you have got to stand firm. You've got to show them that they didn't hit back quite hard enough. You've got to show them that you are not going to retreat.
Yeah, but I'm just not up to that. I feel like calling the whole thing off. Going back to Courtney and telling her the truth.
Thursday on Another Life.
Vaughn Sumner set up this appointment.
Preston makes Dave a proposition.
Because I think you're the only man can help me with it.
And Vaughn learns the truth about Peter.
So what are you trying to say? That Courtney lured Peter here that night?
I really don't want to talk about this anymore, okay?
Tina, come on. I need to know the truth.